Lamar, there you are. I thought you got rid of that pest. Certainly not. Never fear, Gordon. She's de-beaked and completely harmless. The worst she might do is attempt to couple with your head, fruitlessly.
Get that thing away from me!
Here, my pet. Hop up. No, not up there. No, no. Careful, Lamar. Those are quite fragile. Oh, fie. It'll be another week before I can coax her out of there.
Huh? Whatever happened to Half-Life? Hello everyone, welcome to Electric, where I bring you electronics for the electronic freak. In this episode of What Happened, we're bringing to the table a franchise so popular, it's on the borderline of having a cult following. Half-Life.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
One word can describe the magnitude of the game's impact on the gaming industry. Revolutionary. At the time, most games focused on killing the bad guys, finding a key of some sort, and then heading towards the exit, on to the next level. Half-Life, on the other hand, had at its heart a core of subtle storytelling, using the environment and an amazing implementation of physics to really capture the player's attention. You play the game as the always silent Gordon Freeman. You're late to work and on a long tram ride to your job location deep within the Black Mesa facility. Once there, you equip your HEV suit to run an experiment, which goes horribly wrong and creates a portal to another dimension called Zen. You then fight your way through both aliens and humans alike, navigating your way through the story. In many ways, the Half-Life franchise has inspired many games to follow along a similar path, interacting with the environment, for example. In most games, you'll find a clutter of objects you can bash and throw around. The dialogue of the game is also unique, as Gordon Freeman himself says nothing, while NPCs interact in conversation with you and others. Probing further, there are no cutscenes to leave you sitting still while waiting for whatever it is on screen to resolve.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
The game is not told to you as the player with cutscenes and the like, but you as the player are living the story that unfolds before your very eyes, able to still move around and interact with the environment. Though the game does lock you into some locations while key moments happen, it's still interesting to be able to interact with the environment during these key moments as if you were living through the action that unfolds. As you play through the game, you can also interact with NPCs that can talk to you about what is happening, which is a real marvel because you gain small bits of unique story details along the way as everything changes around you. Looking to its origins, it's very fitting we are uploading this video just 20 years after the release of this amazing game series. The very first Half-Life debuted on November of 1998, and according to Gabe Newell, became a surprise hit. The original budget only expected $180,000 in sales, but due to popularity spreading rapidly, it sold over 8 million copies by 2004. This game even made it into the Guinness Book of World Records for being the best-selling first-person shooter of all time for PC.
Wow.
Half-Life 2 followed 5 years later, with Valve publishing a locked 1 GB preload version on Steam in August of 2004. Once the entire game was released in November, the game sold 680,000 copies over the course of a single year and continued to sell over 12 million copies worldwide by 2011. As great a hit as its predecessor, Maximum PC awarded it an exaggerated, unprecedented 11 out of the normal 10. They praised Half-Life 2 as the best game ever made.
Oh man, I feel like, wow, it's like I come over, it's like I don't know what to expect, I gotta be honest.
The game mixed physics puzzles, combat, vehicles, survival horror, and even some platforming. There's just an enormous amount of variety in the game. We were also introduced to a new and loving friend, the gravity gun. With it, you could manipulate many objects in the game. The gravity gun was so well received that other games such as Doom 3, BioShock, and Dead Space integrated their own versions of the dynamic tool. An enormous success in many aspects from start to finish. But everyone has asked and continues to ask the question, where is Half-Life 3? Or even, where's Half-Life 2 Episode 3? The lack of a follow-up stems from the fact that the game idea itself has been overhyped. The problem with such a successful game series taking its time means the probability of leaving fans extremely disappointed for the end result. Valve has had a habit of teasing this game throughout the years. Through a 2012 interview mentioning Ricochet 2, a suspected code name for Half-Life 3, some leaked Valve mailing list information containing a group name for Half-Life 3, and hidden DLL files in Dota 2 mentioning the game. Valve also has a habit of never releasing a full third installment for any game so far. Team Fortress, Portal, Dota, and Left 4 Dead, for example, have never seen third installments. Does this mean we will never see a Half-Life 3? Not entirely. Valve has been awfully silent lately with no word about a new game release or any work on older series. Maybe Valve has been lying in wait for physics engines and game hardware to catch up to their concepts of what they believe Half-Life 3 should be. Maybe the issue is hardware and they're waiting for improvements in VR equipment. Gabe Newell has suggested that they've been seeking a way to make the Half-Life series scarier. And maybe the perfection of VR is what they've been waiting on for the series to hit its final perfect conclusion. We may never know until they break that coded silence. And yet, perhaps the cries from the community are just what Valve wants to perfect the long-awaited conclusion to the saga. Questions have been left unanswered. Characters are abandoned to the mercy of theory. Will the millions of screaming fans get the answer they deserve? Or will the curtain be dropped, only for dedicated gamers to resolve the most dull and predictable end? Let us know what you think in the comments below. We now have a forum where we can discuss these topics in more detail. There's a link in the description directly to the post about this video if you'd like to check it out. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. If not, you know what to do. Leave a comment down below if you have any comments on this video or any content suggestions for future videos. Maybe you have a dead game series you would like us to look into. Get subscribed if you're not already, and get the bell on if you never want to miss an upload. We're now uploading a new video every Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for watching. We and the rest of the community hope to see you next Friday.